Oh, so I'm Manish Bari, for those who I haven't met yet, and a committee member of the charity Educating the Children, which is who we're going to be talking about tonight. Educating the Children's mission is to educate and empower young girls to bring about social change through grassroots projects in Africa. Now, ETC, as we call it, one of the biggest initiatives was to build a self-sustained boarding secondary school in the Masai Mara region in Africa, and in Kenya in particular. And that school now is fully self-sustained. It's boarding 200 girls, and it cost around £200,000 to build. It's been a huge success, and we're really proud of that. But I'm actually here today to talk about ETC's next major initiative, which we're seeking funding for. So the problem we're trying to tackle is the acute youth unemployment in Uganda. Uganda has a very young demographic, partly due to high fertility rates. And in fact, 2/3 of the unemployed are youths between the age of 18 to 30. And it's not that they're illiterate, they're very bright. The problem we have there is that they lack employable skills. So that's what we're trying to address with the funding that we're requesting tonight. So how we're seeking to address that problem is we've teamed up with a senior software engineer here in the UK who's volunteered his time to go out and train bright young girls to become junior software engineers. Now, there's a huge demand for software engineers globally. So what we believe is that these girls can be employed not only locally for local companies, but also globally via remote working. Now, we'd love to kind of expand this, but that would be something for the future. We aim to make this self-sustained after the first few months in the initial setup, again, which is what we're looking for funding for. So self-sustainability is something really important, which is what we have with the school in Kenya, and it's what we're looking for here in terms of this project. So in a bit more detail, how we intend to do this is our senior software engineer will go out for 3 months to Kampala in Uganda, and he will design and deliver a course for roughly 40 girls per course. The course will last for 3 months, and we'll run it 4 times a year. So that will be 160 girls per year. While he's there, he'll also train a local software engineer to deliver this course in the future to kind of maintain its self-sustainability. As part of the project, what we're looking to do is we're engaging with both local employers in Uganda as well as employers globally, including here in the UK, to seek employment opportunities for the girls once they graduate from this course. In terms of what we'll be teaching them, we'll be teaching them 2 main languages, and ask me questions later in terms of the technical detail, but there's one which is called Ruby, which is a great introductory language for learning other coding languages. And the other one is JavaScript, which is the primary language of websites. So this is very kind of portable, it's very usable globally. And we'll be doing this, and simultaneously we've been talking to companies about them employing the girls once they've graduated. So we've already spoken to comparethemarket.com, Deloitte Digital and Bupa, and the initial feedback has already been very positive about the employment opportunities for these girls. I should just say, why girls? I mean, girls are the most marginalised part of society in Africa, and that's why ETC is focused on, and what we believe is in terms of having a social impact. If you target the girls, there's been lots of research done on this, that's how you make the biggest impact. In terms of the costs of this project, we're seeking funding of £20,000 tonight, but the initial setup costs of this will be roughly £26,000, and that's broken down into roughly £14,000 for the first kind of buying the computers for the girls and sending our UK-based software engineer out. So whilst he's volunteered his time, there's the cost of accommodation and flights out there. And then the ongoing cost for every future subsequent course is £12,000. And we're looking to fund that through subsidised fees to the girls that attend the course. So that's roughly £300 per girl, and we've done some research in terms of that affordability for the girls in Uganda. In terms of why this is important for ETC, it's having completed the school in Kenya, this is our next major initiative. And we're looking to make this self-sustainable, but then if this all goes well, expand this to, expand this in terms of numbers in Uganda as well as other parts of Africa. In terms of the impact, well, we've talked about the direct impact on 160 girls in terms of changing and literally transforming their lives. But then there's an indirect impact in terms of their families. Uganda is very much kind of close-knit communities, close-knit families, fairly large families. So if you estimate roughly an impact on large families of, say, sizes of 10, as well as the kind of immediate families, you can then have an impact on 1,600 people per year with this project. And in terms of why it's important for ETC, I've talked about this being a longer-term strategic thing. So our request to you today is for £20,000 to go a significant way towards funding this initiative. And if we do get more money, what we'll do is use that to subsidise the fees for the less privileged girls who want to do the course but perhaps do not have the funds to do the course. One other request is if any of you here are affiliated with any companies that might be able to employ these girls on graduating from the course, then we'd love to talk to you more about that after as well.